Alright guys, remember Survivor Missions? It's a mod that I did a tutorial on a little while ago, a good probably almost a year ago. Um, I reinstalled it on my server the other day because I did stop using it at one point. But I reinstalled it the other day on my server, and some things are just slightly changed a little bit how you install it on your server. Not massively, just a couple of little small things. So, and I've had some comments on my YouTube video. It's not working, and it's probably not working because some things have slightly changed since I did the tutorial. So I'm going to do an updated video on how to install this. So yeah, let's get started. And like I said, most of it will be the same. I'll be telling you what to do, and you'll be like, yeah, this is in the other video. This is the same. And I'm fully aware of that. It's just some things have changed, and only a little, but just yeah, a couple things. Anyway, so install the mod on your server. I'm not going to tell you what to do, how to do it, because I'm fair. You should be sure. You should know how to install a mod on your server, because this won't be the first mod you're going to install on your server. So, you're going to know how to install a mod on your server. So, once you've installed it, what you need to do is go to your server, and we've already got it like open here pretty much. You want to find where the mod is. So, well, it'll be in your main server route. So, where all your mods are, you want to find at Survivor Missions. And what you want to do is you want to open it up. Go into the server files folder, and then you need the MP missions folder and the profile. You need to deal with these. You don't actually need these folders directly, but what you do need to do is, we'll start with MP missions. You need to go into the MP mission folder. Then inside that MP mission folder, you've got a survivors mission module, which is here. You want to copy this folder. And let me just say, I'm going to be copy pasting, because I'm not using FTP or anything like that. If you're using an FTP program, you can simply just use that to upload the folder to the correct path on your server. So which, for demonstration purposes and video purposes, how I'm doing it, I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy. Once you've done that, you need to go to your MP mission folder on your server. So go there. Find which one what mission file you're using. So I'm using dayzoffline.chernarus+. Now, even though I'm not using the expansion one, I am using expansion. I've got expansion installed, but for me at the current time, I've got to use the dayzoffline.chernarus+ mission, because if I try and use the expansion mission folder, if I edit anything in the init file, my server won't load. It just messes up for some reason. But in the Dayz offline one, it works perfectly fine. So yeah, so I've got some current issues with the expansion folder. So I am using expansion. If you are using it or you're not using it, it doesn't matter. The mod will still work. But just to let you know, I'm going into the Dayz offline Chernarus mission folder, but I am using expansion. So if that makes sense. So just go into the correct mission folder that you're using. Once you're in here, right click and you would paste. Now I'm not going to do it because, as you can see, I've already got it. What you then need to do is you need to go into that folder, and this is where things are a little bit different. You used to have one Events World data file that you had to rename. Now you've got the normal Chernarus+ one, you've got the expansion one, and you've got the expansion Gloom version. You've also got Deer Isle and you've got Enoch. So you need to remember these names, like right click copy them, because whatever mission file you're using, if you're using not the MOS, if you're using the Enoch mission or Deer Isle, you need to link the mission file to like this, to the events world data pretty much. I'm going to link it to this top one because I'm using the normal Chernarus+. Even though I'm using expansion, I'm just going to link it to this because this is the mission file that I am using. Now, it doesn't have Namorsk on here, it doesn't have Rosto. What other maps have we got? I think there are a couple of other maps. So if you are using one of the other maps, you're going to have to either make this folder and add the missions into it, or you're going to have to see if someone else has got one for you. But yeah, so what you need to do is, so no need to rename anything here. Last time you had to rename something. But what you need to do is go into the missions folder and go into the missions.h folder. So once you've gone into it and opened it up in your notepad program, you need to change this here. This will say something like Survivor Missions. Where it says Daisy Offline, it will say, I can't remember exactly, but something like Survivor Missions .Chernarus Plus. Basically, you need to make sure this is the same name as your mission file. So if you was using the expansion mission file, this here would say expansion.Chernarus Plus or expansion.Chernarus Plus Gloom. I'm using the Daisy one, the vanilla one. So I've changed mine to Daisy.Offline Chernarus Plus. And if you're not sure where to get the mission file from, it's pretty simple. If you go back to your MP mission folder, it's the name of the folder. So if you're using Enoch, it's DaisyOffline.Enoch. If you're using expansion Gloom, it'll be expansion.Chernarus Plus Gloom. I'm using the Daisy Offline Chernarus Plus, so it's just the name of the mission folder. So if we go back into that, back into the mod, so go back into missions, and then mission H. So change the name to match your mission file. Once you've done that, file save. Alright, I'm not going to save it because, I've already done it. Also, I always keep forgetting, make sure your server's stopped offline, okay? It's always recommended, when you're doing stuff on your server, it's stopped. Once you've done that, I don't think you need to go into here. I can't remember going into here, doing nothing. No, these are just all your missions. They're the coordinates where things spawn. So you don't actually need to go into the events world data file. But last time you had to rename the one that was in here. This time, what you need to do is you need to remember the name. So what I like to do is go to rename. It comes up with a box so you can rename it. Copy the complete text in there. Control C. That will copy that. Right. Then what you need to do is you need to go back to the Survivor Missions. So go back to your main server root. Find your @Survivor Missions folder, which is there. Go back to the server files and go to the profile folder. Open that up. And inside there, you got the Survivors Missions. You need to copy this folder, or again, if you're using FTP, upload this folder to your servers folder. So for me, mine's profiles. And then you can see I've already got it here, Survivor Missions. You would just right click and you would paste it in here. Okay, or upload it in here. Once you've done that, go ahead and open it up. And then you need to go into your mission settings.c file. When I can double click on it. And then you need to make sure these two lines here, they include directories, the two I've highlighted up. This middle bit, you need to make sure it says the name of your mission file. So for me, DaisyOffline.Chernarus Plus on that one and on that one. And again, I think it says something like Survivor Missions or something like that there. So you need to change that. And then the other thing you need to change is this top line at the end here. I think this default says Events World Data.c or something like that. You need to change it to the name of the Events World Data file. So for me, Events World Data _Chernarus Plus.c. And if we just go back to the mod, where is it? Oh no, I want to go back. So don't go back to the mod. Go back to your MP mission folder. Go back to your mission thing, Survivor Missions module, and you've got the names here. So again, I'm using Events World Data _.Chernarus Plus.c. If we open back up the other window, you can see this name there matches this name there. If you're using events, for example, if you're using Events World Data _DRL.c, then this name that I've highlighted up now would say Events World Data _DRL.c. So hopefully you get that, okay? So make sure you've linked everything to the correct path and correct file name that the server needs to load. Once you've done that, file save. There are some other settings in here that you can change. I'm not going to go over them. You can have a gander at your own will. The only one I will recommend that you probably will want to change is this line here. Static bool opt _ send story on discon equals false. default that says equals true. I've changed it to false, and what that does is when you press escape normally to log out your server, it'll come up with like a mission text, and I find that gets kind of annoying. Each time you press escape or you want to log out, you see this mission text. So if you change it to false, it won't show it. And then, you know, make sure if you do change again, you file save. That's it, and then start your server. I don't think I have missed nothing now. And again, you know, in your survivor missions module, you've got all your missions. You can go in and you can edit them. And again, you know, you can create new missions too, which I'm not too sure how to do at the minute, but if that's something you want to do. Anyway, I think that's it. You probably are wondering, well, what was the differences? I did try and explain the differences as I did it, but there was a couple there. Small ones, but there was a couple differences. And like I said, you know, most of it was the same. But, you know, like I said in my old video, some people had issues, it not working. So hopefully this is the way, you know, they'll see something in this video that like, oh, I didn't do that. That's why it's not working. Anyway, have fun, guys. And until next time, peace out, and I'll catch you next time.